Hey everybody, Adam Team Swish here, and we're back with some more vintage. Specifically, we're back with some more 8cast. So, I played through League last night, which if you follow the stream you may have saw. And this deck feels really, really good. Like, very good. So, I did go 3-2 last night, but given that it was literally the first time I had ever touched the deck, I was like, wow, that feels like crazy good. So after last night's league, I hopped into some of the discords and started chatting with some people, and who I ended up chatting with was Slasher, who came up with this particular list. And so Slasher and I got chatting, and one of the things I mentioned was that the bug matchup felt atrocious. That them having Collector Roof and Energy Flux and Leovold, like all of it together felt pretty garbage. So we started chatting or whatever, and I had brought up the fact that I kind of like the notion of a Chain of Vapor. So Slasher has these two dismembers, and they're going to catch the Leovolds, and they're going to catch the Collector Roofs out of bug. My thought was that Flux is a beating. Like, Flux is a savage beating. So I said, okay, well, like, what if we just played Chain of Vapor? And so Slasher says, well, Chain of Vapor is a bad Magic card. And I'm like, I agree with you, but I don't care if my opponent is dead. But we kind of chatted through it or whatever, and I see where Slasher's at, right? So the number of energy fluxes that you will see in a given room or a given evening, pretty finite. It's a pretty small number. So the main things that you're worried about are Collector Roof, Leovold, Null Rod, maybe Karn, various such effects. So this dismembers are going to answer your Collector Roofs and your Leovolds. Then the Hurkyl's recalls are going to answer your Null Rods and similar effects. So then finally, it's like, okay, well, what do I do against, something like, say, a Karn? Or like, hey, I don't have the dismember to beat this Collector Roof, like, what am I going to do? And so Slasher and I started talking, I'm like, Urza's a big part of this game plan, right? So, like, obviously there's also just the, like, Tinker for Sphinx, and okay, you figure it out, nerd. But Urza is a big part of the plan, where all of a sudden, everything that was shut off is, it is now a Mox Sapphire. So all of a sudden, you're just generating more blue mana. And that is actually a pretty interesting notion, right? The part of the reason that this deck is functionally mono blue is because built into the deck inherently is the answer to one of the biggest problems, right? Null Rod, Collector Roof style effects, and that's Urza. But in order for that to work, blue mana needs to be all that you need, and therefore enter the mono blue deck. Now we do have some slight problems with that notion given Sphinx and Bolas' Citadel, but Tinker clears those up pretty okay. And a big part of that being that, like, these are just very good, and if you can get a Tinker off in the first couple of turns against Bug or whoever, you're probably just winning that game, right? Like, it doesn't matter that they might put an oof into play or whatever, like, you're probably fine. So then I started thinking about it, I'm like, okay, so that makes enough sense, right? And then I did think about, well, what about another Urza? But then I'm like, okay, but then what am I cutting for another Urza? So I've decided to run this deck back just as is. And a big reason that Slasher mentioned when discussing the Dismember specifically is one that I think is important. And that is, Dismember is an answer to Collector Oof and things like Leovold that you can cast off Urza's Saga. because there are going to be times where Saga might be the only mana producing land you currently have. You know, if you're under a collector roof and you got a couple of Seedus Synods in play and some jewelry, like, Saga's it. So this is why this card almost can't cost a colored mana. Because there are going to be times where that happens, and in those situations, Dismember being functionally colorless is important. Now, I'm not 100% sure that I agree with this, but I see the notion. So that's why that got left alone. Some other things that I did think about were, I wonder if this Needle, Soul Guide Lantern, Grafdigger's Cage configuration mess isn't quite, like, part of me wants another Grafdigger's Cage, but I think part of that might be me coming from playing a lot of Legacy, where this permanent that hangs out in play and is, like, perpetually hateful. Evening Phoenix? Yeah, so this, where this permanent being perpetually hateful is very important, as opposed to, you know, in Vintage, where, like, if a Lantern nukes Dredge one time, like, that's it. We're probably done. Like, their ability to recover from such a thing is very, very poor. So, in that regard, like, maybe this is correct, and maybe I'm just overthinking it. So, decided to run this back exactly as is, kind of get a feel for it, and see where we're at. That's kind of where we're at. We're going to play some more Vintage 8 cast tonight. We're going to see kind of how that shapes up and see what we think. Again, there will be a third stream later this week. It stands to reason that I don't feel like I'm going to be playing more 8 cast later this week. I do like the deck quite a bit, but I think that this third stream, if I was playing 8 cast for the third time this week, it would almost be like this is the deck that I'm locking in. And while I do think this deck is very good, I don't think I'm quite that close. So, we'll definitely have to see. Yes. So, without further ado, let's get started. Hop into the queue. 21 active players. Strange. John, how are you tonight? I hope you are well. Correct, Travis. Draw more. John, the reason being is that the league actually reset this morning at 6 o'clock Pacific. So that was a thing that was mentioned to me yesterday when I mentioned that I was going to queue up and start playing some Vintage. Somebody said to me, "Hey, maybe don't. Wait times are long." And I'm like, okay, what? So I hopped into one of the Vintage Discords and I was like, hey, so like somebody mentioned this to me, what's going on? And it was because the league was ending at 6 o'clock this morning. So people had started to kind of fall off, and now it's, 6:20 p.m. on a Wednesday evening, and people are just kind of starting to get back into it. So I get it. Yeah, I mean, Travis. Well, I mean, 4-1 would be great. I'm down for this. I also wouldn't hate a 5-0. Channel needs a 5. Oh, crazy diamond. Uh-oh. Yikes. Okay. Hear me out. Okay. Alright. So, I believe this player is known for playing Doomsday? But it could basically be anything at this point. Gas. Okay. So, land. Mox. Top. Thoughtcast. Yeah, confirmed. Dredge gonna dredge. Ooh. Yeah, flustered. Okay. Yeah, it turns out we're not paying for any of these copies of Flusterstorm. No. So, yeah, now what? Okay, so you're just gonna walk. So this might actually be, there's a blue-red kind of cantrip aggro deck that's floating around playing Layla from Layla the Broken Blade or whatever from the Commander set. 2. Oh, yikes. Could you not? Smash both Moxes, sure. Yeah, big F and D. What? What? Rude! Okay. Alright. Opponent had Time Walk, untap, Shattering Spree, strip you, go. Rude, opponent. Rude. Blue. 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 Yeah, okay. So this is indeed Layla the Blade Reforged. Laylia. So if anybody hasn't seen this yet, this card is gas and works exceptionally well with, I don't know, delve spells? So, yeah, card very good. I was probably supposed to spin there and see if I could find a Force of Will, because it will be difficult for me to beat this card. Opponent finds their Mox. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all this is happening. Not really a whole lot I'm doing about it. Yeah, you got your Mox. Gonna find the Force of Will and be sad? No? Okay. That one seems good. Okay. Saga. Lotus. Time Vault? Time Walk. Spin? I mean, that Emery's kind of gas. I may just take the seat to make a construct, though. No, thank you. Oh no, vintage is great, Travis. Like, yikes. Yeah, no, vintage is spectacular. I've messed around with vintage a great deal over the years, and I have always been happy. Foretold? What? Okay. I'm gonna be real, I have no idea what this is. Like, opponent just foretold a card, and I literally no idea what it could be that they foretold. So, unfortunately, getting rid of Saga there was pretty bad for us. So I think I'm gonna go back. Yeah, scroll. Sure. What is this scroll going to find? Scroll could find dig? That would be good. Scroll could just find, like, mental misstep? Ancestral. Sure, that's a very reasonable thing for you to want in your life. I will easy money trade this construct for your Lelia. Like, it's not close. No thank you. I think the bauble's up top. Yikes. Vinci, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Alright. I think we're gonna go this. I'm gonna take an Emery. It's like of questionable value, but this one. Flip over Thought Monitor, flip over Flusterstorm. Okay. I suppose all of these things are fine. Vinci, we were here tonight playing some Vintage 8 Cast. For anyone curious on exactly what the deck list looks like who walked in after I flashed it on screen, you can use !deck like so in chat. Or on the left-hand side of your screen, you should see an icon that looks like the back... Sure. Looks like the back of a Magic card. That is the Cardboard Live extension. You can click on that and use that to view the deck list. If it is operating as intended, it should also allow you to scroll over the various cards and see... Yikes. It should also allow you to scroll over various cards and read them more closely on your screen. Gonna bolt. Gross. Okay. Alright. Exile the top card of your library. This is gonna get +1/+1. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not gonna block. I'm glad you're not playing a second one. Okay. No thank you. So... Okay. What do I want here? Opal? Gotta be Opal. I think actually what I want to do here is Thought Monitor, Ring, Opal. Draw Opal for turn. Play this. Add a float. No, I don't. I have the mana I need. Flip top. Cast this Soul Ring. Next turn, we get top. We can flip top into Thought Monitor. Ooh, Fish, I have bad news. We're getting bullied by a commander card. Like, maybe that's entertaining for you, I suppose. Guess I don't know what your life looks like. But yeah, we are assuredly getting bullied by a commander card. Opponent exiles another Lelia. Rad. Good. I don't feasibly understand how... Oh. So, starts as a 2-2 with haste. Whenever it attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Whenever one or more cards put into exile from your library and or your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on her. It's really good in a format where Delve spells exist. Sure. No thank you. Alright. Gonna draw this top. It is indeed a threat. You gonna misstep my top, you monster? Don't do it. Wow. Top was good enough to get Force of Willed. Okay. Top was good enough to get Force of Willed. That's spooky. Yikes. Steal my construct, attack me? Yup. That seems real bad. Oh no, indeed. So Lelia's gonna crack me for 6. If opponent has Bolt, we're very, very, very dead. That's not Bolt, but it's very good. I have no blocks. Alright. They have the Bolt. Nice. Okay. Well, that was unfortunate. Now, how do I bully... I want this Dispute. I think I want these Dismembers. Might want Karn question mark. Correct. Fish. That seems like the appropriate noise. Oh, Dak is very good in this format. Like, unreasonably good. Alright. I want the land count, so I'm not going to get rid of the Seagate. This card feels unbeatable. If I can just resolve Tinker for this thing, I think I win. I'm tempted to cut Bolas's Citadel. This card feels more like a liability than a benefit. I also don't love Emery. Those are my initial thoughts. Do not love Emery. Do not love Bolas's Citadel. Potentially supposed to cut Force of Will. This Needle is gas. Could seaboarding... Oh, wait. I want this Hull Breacher. I forgot there's a Hull Breacher in my side. Okay. I'm gonna shave a Bauble. I'm gonna cut Citadel. Because I don't ever, ever, ever want my opponent to Dak Fade and steal that. They can't Dak Fade and steal this. We're very good. I kind of just want to cut these Emerys and call it a day. Like, I feel like our game plans here are Tinker for Sphinx. Urza into a bunch of nonsense garbage. Or Red. Or Saga. Obviously, Time Vault being Time Vault. Apparently, opponent is not quite sure how to deal with this. That seems so strange. Opponent is a very good player. I feel like this should be pretty clear cut for them. I would like to play first.
Okay. No. I think we're keeping this. I would not. This one. Game plan here might just be like play Saga next turn. Oh. Nice. Nice. Very good. So this like 100% shuts off Saga. Yup. Oh. Right, that's how that works. Yikes. Yeah, wow. Did not, yep, forgot about the fact that when the Alpine moves in play, Saga just doesn't get to do anything. Yikes. As it tries to enter with 0 counters. Oh, good. Sure. Yup. Oh, yeah. I've looked at it, Magic Online. Stop. Draw 2 cards. Force of Will. Urza. Well, this just keeps getting worse. Good. Great. So glad for this. Yeah, I don't think we're winning this game. Not by a lot. These draws have been supremely atrocious. This Force of Will is actually fine. Ponder's fine. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will, without question, Force of Will a Shattering Spree on this Mox. It's not close. Step 2. We need another artifact. I guess maybe that's the argument to not crack the bauble, but then we would have been like even further. You also get to preordain. Yup. So maybe this is the night where we just get absolutely bullied. Last night I was like, hey, this feels pretty okay. Now it's just like, oh, now we just die. That's not a bad one. I don't hate that one. It still doesn't do things yet, but we're getting closer. Okay. Layla? Oh, gross. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, but also I have to be able to beat something, right? I think Thought Monitor is the thing we're the furthest away from. So we're just gonna pitch the Thought Monitor. So the problem is, Fish, if I don't force now, and then we have to play a Force War after the fact, then, yeah, that's fine. Resolves. Yeah, if we play the Force War later, it's so bad for me. I say as I take 4 to kill this Pyromancer. Like, I brought these in for Layla, if I'm being real, but... Oh, perfect. Awesome. Okay. Well, this is unfortunate. No, I think we had to, right? Like, I think we had to get that Pyromancer, keep it out of here. Because if opponent then gets to start, like, cantripping into Oblivion and whatever. Yikes. I feel like, yep, we're getting spreed. I feel like we're really dead. I feel like we are, I mean, it's pretty bad. I agree they have no threat, but we also are, like, worlds behind. Like, worlds and worlds and worlds. Yeah, this is what I'm scared of. Cruise? This looks like Cruise. This is assuredly Cruise. So, basically, we're on Black Lotus, right? Like, that's kind of where I'm at. That's not Lotus, but I'm gonna cast it anyway. Opponent's gonna show me their... Oh, no, I was like, opponent's gonna show me their mental misstep, and I'm gonna get real sad. I need to start building towards something, which is why I played the Manifold Key. Like, if I can start trying to think about turning this Thoughtcast online. Bearden's fine. Oh, it... I mean... Technically, fish. You know? Blast. Oh, there's Lotus. Hey. They blasted me, they Shattering Spreed me, they Wastelanded, I forced, I dismembered, like... There's been a lot of back and forth here. Oh, yep. That's so bad. You gonna take my key? No. You're just gonna loot? Okay. I mean, that's the plan. The plan was to draw cards. Unfortunately, our opponent came with main deck Shattering Sprees and these Dak Fadens. And now we're just kind of hanging out. Looks like opponent's drawing all of the cards. Opponent has just gushed. Lelia? I kind of expect it to be Lelia. Is it not? Oh, it's Dig. That's good. I'm sure that's fine. Yes, correct. We came to draw cards, opponent came to win games. They played cards that attack for lethal and have meaningful text. We played 4-drops. It's fine. Reasonable. Alright. Show me good Magic cards. Opponent has to discard. I guess that's good for us, right? I'm not convinced that's good for us. We're gonna find out, but I'm not convinced that's good for us. They discard a Flusterstorm, sure. Opal. This still cost $1 billion. Good. Great. So good. Yeah. I'll gladly take this Opal. I feel like they might gladly take it too, if we're being honest. Pretty done with that one. Neat. Okay. Well, Strip Mine was very good. Yeah, we weren't coming back from that one. That was a savage beating. But thank you all for joining me tonight. I appreciate all of you being here on this delightful Wednesday evening as I get vintaged out of vintage. Excellent.
But in all seriousness, that deck is really interesting, and I've seen a few people chattering about it now that Lelia is available on Magic Online, and that might be one of those things that I would be willing to play around with. Lelia seems kind of absurd, and I loved it a great deal when there was the blue-red Delver deck in Vintage that was playing like Pulverizes and stuff. I thought that deck was really, really cool, and I thought that it was kind of exciting that could exist in a space as powerful as Vintage. And this Lelia deck feels kind of in that same vein, that like blue-red, clock you quickly, disrupt everything kind of deck. So it is possible that we play some blue-red Lelia on stream at some point in the near future. I don't know if I'm quite big brain enough to play that through Eternal Weekend, but like, we can find out. So what is everybody up to tonight? Hopefully you all had a great day. Like I previously mentioned, I will be streaming again later this week, probably Sunday afternoon. The way it sits right now, there are... Why would you try not to play the most aggressive thing you can in this photo? Nice. So, Fish, because there aren't usually aggro decks, at least not straightforward aggro decks like that in the format. They usually get pressed out by things that go... I mean, honestly, they usually get pressed out by Dredge. Because you're like, I'm gonna play an aggro deck. Coffee Dodgy, thank you so much for the sub. Shops is a prison deck though, right? Like, so the reality is that usually the aggro decks are like, here, I'm gonna play aggressive creatures. And then Dredge goes, turn 1, play Bazaar of Baghdad. Activate Bazaar of Baghdad. And you're like, oh, you've outclassed all of my creatures. Neat. Yeah, it's just really hard. Oh yeah, like, Dredge is sort of an aggro deck, yes. The reason I don't classify Dredge as the aggro deck, is because unlike an aggro deck, again, or a tempo deck like Lelia, Dredge is very susceptible to hate. Now, mind you, you have to have a pretty decent amount of it, but like, if you just put your hate into play, they're kind of done. Like, you're just like turn 1, Pithy Needle Name Bazaar of Baghdad, and then stare at Force of Will blue card in your hand for the rest of the game. Like, you're probably just winning. Your opponent's not gonna do anything. It's great. Whereas, like, on the flip side of that, like, a deck like Lelia, like, what are you gonna play? Supreme Verdict? Yeah, what is it, 2018? Like, people aren't ready for creature decks. Mono white aggro. Is this Hate Bears? Luris, Giver, Kataki. Yeah, this is Hate Bears. So actually, this is from the challenge on the 16th. Yeah, alright. So actually, Fish, we were discussing last night in chat, there's a Bant Hate Bears deck with Lavinia Azorius Renegade and just all sorts of nonsense garbage. The Archon of Emeria and stuff like that. That is a thing that interests me greatly. Yes. I want a blue card to pair with this Force of Will. If I have a blue card to pair with this Force of Will, I just win the game. Yup. Deal. Okay. Draw a blue card. Blue card. Not a blue card. Mox. Mox. Bauble. They had the Force of Will. So this might just be like some sort of like Grixis, like mid-rangey type thing. Like that is not unheard of. And Sedgemoor Witch and Grixis colors play pretty well together. Combat. Yep. Take 4. Machine Head. Sure. Demonic Tutor. Yep. Tutor for Ancestral Recall? That would be a pretty good one, not gonna lie. Land. Tutor for Time Walk. Okay. Sure, that's also fair. Like, gonna play Saga. 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure. I have a little bit of time. Not a lot, but a little. This having Menace is slightly problematic. Not gonna lie. Cool. I got a 10. Well, we found another Force of Will. That's fun, I suppose. Okay. Yeah, my game plan right now is just to... That is not the thing we're looking to mental misstep. Not by a lot. Okay. I will take 3. There's a 3/3. All right. Okay. So we're 100% stone rating our opponent. So we're gonna stone rain our opponent by getting this needle, but I don't know what we want to name. I kind of want to like. Get needle. Name Tarn? Playland Pass? Yeah, no, like Saga's kind of absurd. I will mental misstep. I just don't think opponent's hand is very good. Combat. You gain 1. Okay, sure. Sick. Great. Good. I mean, we're kind of in a stalemate, though. I can't really attack. So we just kind of stare at each other here until somebody draws something dumb and restricted. Although hardcast Force of Will feels pretty okay. Not gonna lie. Yep. I mean, yeah. Fish, you're absolutely correct. The nature of vintage is both of us stands here and does some, like stares at each other until we draw something dumb and blue and restricted. I don't know, like, vintage has gotten much crazier. Like, there's just a lot of nonsense that goes on now. Combat. Is this the time you attack? No? Good talk. Cool, great. Glad to hear it. Okay. Yup. I'm willing to take down Hardcast Force of Will for this. I am like absolutely. Oh yeah, no, I'm like very glad that like Vintage gets to play a bunch of like kind of shenanigans cards. Sure. What are you hard casting, opponent? Opponent's not even gonna make me do it. I'm so happy. Gonna make another one. Now we're gonna get Divining Top. Top's gonna dig us out of this hot mess. So, oh, nice. Hey, Jay. Yeah, no, so it's, like, it's not even just, like, doesn't see standard play, like, just by the nature of Vintage, right? Like, we mentioned earlier how good Dak Faden is, right? Like, Dak Faden is absurd in this format because you have this space where, like, artifacts are everywhere. And that's not really anything that exists anywhere else in Magic. Okay, opponent found their Saga. Sure, sure, sure. Spin top. All of these are so good. All of these are so good. Like, holy wow. I will pay one. So, I'm going to be patient here. Oh, I could have forced. Don't need to. Like, this is just the Abyss, right? Opponent, one card left in hand. Draw with top. Ancestral me.
Top. Key. Is that the one you want to misstep? So, like, here's where we can do the top trick, where we tap, activate top, untap top, draw top, and then we get bonus cards. What are we looking for, though? Time Walk. We're looking for Time Walk. Two cards with Wizard Cycling. Alright, fair. I think I'm just gonna pass. I'm not really in a, like, dire situation here. Alright, opponent has another Urza Saga. I feel like their hand is pretty actively bad. Spin. All of these are gas. Just all of them. Like, holy wow. All of these are so good. Urza. Three, 4, 5. Sure, I guess. I'm just looking to try to find walk. All of these are not good. All right. Yes. Correct. Yes. Awesome. This is all good for me. Spin. Cast. Take down. Time Vault. Go. I think we found it. I think we found the way we're winning the game. Like, if opponent has a needle, this has to get needle to name Time Vault. Like, contractually obligated. This feels spectacular. We're having a grand old time. Also, Jay, I don't know if I saw the other one. What is the other card with Wizard Cycling, Jay? Hey. Okay. I think I like this Karn. I like Mystical Dispute. I also like Hull Breacher. Step Through. Huh. I'll have to take a look because I don't actually think I've seen that yet. 3 blue, bounce 2 creatures, Wizard Cycle for 2. Okay, okay. Opponent... I don't feel like opponent's probably on... Yeah, I'm gonna cut the Seagate Restoration. I don't think opponent is on Wasteland. Actually, I guess in that regard, I could just cut a basic instead. So then I need 2 more cards. Like, this feels like gas. This also feels like gas. What is it we don't want? I think Shave Baubles? Shave Baubles. That seems reasonable. I don't know how I missed that one, Jay. I guess Modern Horizons 2 was kind of such a blur. Like, I remember it being spoiled and everything starting to come out, and I'm like, wow, so many of these cards are so good. What am I going to do with my life? So many of these cards are so good. Like, his hand is so slow. This hand is also not great, but like, I guess. Gonna put the island to the bottom. It's fair. Sometimes some wizard cycling is all you're really looking for, man. Okay. Seat. Opal. Go.
So here's where we're at, right? We have Flusterstorm. I'm sure we can Thoughtcast next turn. You get to spin top, yes. I mean, it's not a creature. I guess it has that going for it. Yeah, that's... After the patron wizard lock is applied, he says, as if that's just a normal sentence. I mean, I'm down for a patron wizard lock, though. Jay, I think it's only a normal sentence for people like you and I who are completely insane. Alright. Well, that one seems good. So 1, 2... This currently costs 3. This is gonna make 2. Cast this? Weird. Okay. I guess this is where we're at. Has to know about playing Legacy versus Patron Wizard. Uh-oh. I mean, I believe you. I think that's the scary part, is that I believe you. Mox chat. It's just now dawning on me that there's like a non-zero chance opponent is a PO deck. Rude. Opponent says Narset, and I'm like, no, no Narset, get out of here. Alright, mental misstep, very good. Thoughtcast. What do you got, friend? Are we gonna have to do the thing? Oh, no, okay. I was like, are we gonna have to have a fluster fight again? Because the last time this happened, it didn't work out very well for me. But I'm willing to try it again if I have to. Okay. So opponent's spinning top. If their game plan is to spin top, this means that their plan is a force effect, which we have covered with fluster. Okay, I guess that's a thing. Play this. Play this. Say go. I kind of just want to bauble them. Alright, fair. Tough but fair opponent. Well, that's not a bad one. We found an Emery. That's happening whether I want it to or not. Yup. I'm gonna keep this 1 mana because I want the Fluster Storm up, and I want to be able to use my mana post Thought Monitor. Steel Sabotage has like actually been good in Vintage for a hot minute. Again, the artifact, the density of artifacts that are Vintage playable are just like getting kind of high. So like, this is actually just fine. Yes. This one. Emery? That one cool too? Opponent. Look here, okay? I'm having all the fun and you're having none, okay? Opponent is gonna make another pest, which is like nothing. I mean, it's fair. It is assuredly more spicy to call it a block constructed staple. Mill 4 cards. What did we mill?
Oh, well, I wish we hadn't milled that. The top's fine, though. I am going to cast this. We're going to keep this one. I don't hate having this top. This bauble is just a free card every turn. Yeah, your top's fine. I don't care. That's not the kind of card we're worried about right now. I'm more worried about all of your dumb blue restricted cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which I have basically all of them covered, which feels pretty good. Sick. Good. Great. Gas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This all feels great, right? Like, cast this Urza? Make a thing. Make another thing. This thing is flying. Hercules recall me, you coward. You won't. Cool. Bauble. Cast Bauble. Bauble you. I should really stop saying things like that. Alright, cool. Well, I mean, we're fine, but... No, we're fine. Like, look at our hand. We're absolutely okay. I can literally cast both of these cards. 1, 2. Well, no, I'm sorry. I cannot cast both of these cards. Alright. Can you find Manifold Key? Thoughtcast. Hercules Recall. Floster. Cool. So there's the Hercs. I can still force if I need to. I mean, yeah. You get to spin top. Draw 2. Soul Ring just feels kind of free. This. Okay. Yes. Also yes. So opponent's life total stays not neutral. You know, casual tap for 11 off Tolarian Academy. I'm gonna cast this one. How's that sound? Yes. This is so wild. Like, oh, sometimes I just don't know what to do with this deck. Because you just do so many absurd things. Like, I attacked my opponent for 22, and then I'm like, I guess I'll cast this Pithy Needle off this Urza, right? My Tolarian Academy only makes, like,
11 mana. That's fine.
I mean, you let me name top. I'm going to name top. We'll spin again. Well, that's not what we wanted. One, two, three, four. I could tap the construct, but I don't really want to. Grab this ruby out of my yard. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Untap this. Your move, friend.
Like, opponent needs to have another Hercules recall, like, in a right hurry.
This one. I wish for to cast this Force of Will.
Rad.
Right?
Just like, I have too much mana, get rid of your stuff. Alright, so that's 1 and 1. Yeah, Jay, you kind of missed it last night, where I was sitting here, and, like, every time I, like, opened a new 7, I'm like, this just feels nuts. And then I forget that, like, Vintage is just that way. So, like, I had an opening hand that cast a Thought Monitor and a Thought Cast both on, like, turn 1 or 2. And I think it was turn 1, and my opponent went Mindbreak Trap, untap, strip mine you. Oh, cool. Cool. Good. Great. That was sweet. So then we play Urza's Saga, and I'm like, okay, so we're like on the Saga plan now. We'll just like make some stuff and eventually get a Divining Top and like use top to dig back in. And then opponent untaps again and goes, Wasteland. Wasteland you. Nice. Yeah, this is once again a quick tinker. Keep. So, I'm going to play top. I'm not going to tinker this turn. What I'm going to do is... Game plan will be use top to find another blue source so that blue source can cast Fluster to protect Tinker. And he's mulling to 4. I may have changed my plan. And he mulled to 4. I feel like Andy's on, like, something dumb and gross. This one? Yeah, okay. So that was the gambit. Like, Andy mulled a 4, and Andy mulled a 4 and found trap. This is bizarre, sure. This was the argument to wait. Oh, okay. This is Hollowvine. Yeah, so... Spin top. Alright. So that's... We're gonna take a beating here. Like, I need to find something big in a right hurry. Well, there goes a Force of Vigor, which feels pretty good. I'll take 5. That's another hollow one. That kind of sucks. And he doesn't have any cards, though. It's unlikely this black mana matters, but we're going to pretend that it can. What are the top 3 cards? Oh, hold up.
That's Time Vault. 1 or less. Okay. So if I go Time Vault, Fluster, Emery. Oh no, it's gonna mill 4. Yikes. That Time Vault's too slow though, right? There's just not like a world in which that actually matters. I'm gonna bin all 4 of these. That feels like such a strange... And Lotus is right there. Yikes. Keep this one. Say go. Yup. There's another Root Walla. And every piece of Andy's interaction, basically. Sure. Yup. Okay. No blocks. Chalice on 0. I no longer care. Academy, Seat, Thoughtcast. Sure. I think I'm just gonna let this resolve. So this cost 1. What are the top 3? Yikes. Academy. Alright. This. Flip top. Cast Thoughtcast. Replay top. Spin top. Flip top. Oh. The spell cost, well, 7. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that sucks. We can't cast any of the things out of our yard because Andy shut off all of our zeros. That seems bad. Okay. Yeah. Rough. And then if Andy finds red root wall, we... Nope. I guess this doesn't have haste. He's not making that Vengevine, which is good. Put that here. this. Thought monitor, draw 2. Spin top. One, two, three, four, five, 6. We just have Sphinx. If I tap this like this, flip top, Sphinx. Cool. That turned us around from a really awkward spot. So the situation here is, though, if Andy has Force of Vigor to blow up Thought Monitor and anything else, we just lose. But 2 of them are gone. And there goes the 3rd one. That's good. There's Cradle. Alright, Andy, yeah, you figure out the math. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm dead exactly. I am dead exactly. Yikes. Yep. Activate, activate. I knew it was, like, that was so close. And then I'm gonna take 7 off of 3 Root Wallas. Alright, cool. So... Alright. This out. I want... Cage, Needle, Needle... Hull Breacher... Cut Forces... Lantern... So in this matchup, we're the control deck. We're just trying to shut off their stuff as fast as possible. So I'm gonna run this like this. Well, that's rough, Travis. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. No, Andy is playing Hollowvine, and we got smashed. Yeah. It was actually like pretty close. Like, I got to hard cast my Sphinx of the Steel Window, man. I don't know how mad I can be. No, it was... I really can't be mad when I get to cast my 8-drop, right? Like, you definitely... That's not why you put this in your deck. You put this in your deck because it can cost 3 mana, and you can sometimes play it on turn 1 and just bully your opponent. Yeah, we're gonna play first. I like it. I like everything that I see here. Island. Jet. Ring. Sure. Okay. I have to do the math. Lantern. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're not there this turn. But I think we can be there next turn. So, just, like, this is gonna beat a Vengevine trigger on the stack, right? You got a hollow one. You got 2 hollow ones. Saga. Lotus. 1, 2, 3. So this costs 4, right? This, however, costs 2. I would like to draw some cards, Andy. Alright. So... we just do it, right? Jeremy, thank you for the raid. We've run into Andy playing Hollowvine, and I think I'm gonna force check him. Wait. Alright, Andy, you got it. I understand. Now this is like forever away. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna take some beats from these hollow ones. Activate, yep. Then we're looking to beat Vengevines. Like, okay, so another conversation that I didn't really think about at the time, something that was could have kind of been a big deal. I could have boarded in Hercule's Recall. So Hollow One is one of the best cards in this matchup because you can do stuff like this. So, alright, there's a Vengevine. That's pretty good, Andy, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm getting attacked. He can't have Force of Vigor. Alright. Seat. Gonna take 8. I may just have to crack this lantern next turn to try to draw something. I was probably a touch aggressive with the Tinker, to be honest with you. I probably should have just tried to cast this Thought Monitor. I mean, I think that whatever happened was getting forced, but if I cast the Thought Monitor first, then we have the Tinker's backup. Whereas instead, now I've left me in a position where this Thought Monitor is uncastable. Yeah, that was poor sequencing. Okay. Activates his Bazaar post-combat. Sure. Yes. Alright. So... I guess we get to wait a turn on this Soul Guide. Oh, yikes. There's Key. And Ruby. We're just dead. Yikes. Oof. Okay. Yeah, that was poor sequencing on my part. I could have instead cast Thought Monitor first and then used the Tinker as backup. And instead we got smashed out of this game. Alright. Well, that's 1 and 2. Oh, wow. Just right back into it. I would love to play first. Yes, please? Sapphire. Ring. Academy. Thoughtcast? Well, that's not great. Emery. Alright, cool. Opponent has a Saga, sure. Yeah, I mean... I kind of want to be able to cast this other stuff in my graveyard. So, 7. -2. 5 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the blue up for Fluster. One, two. Alright, alright. I'm not mad about this. Like, our Urza's gonna kind of check their Saga. Their Saga's also gonna be pretty slow. Oh, Mana Crypt, sure. Okay. Reasonable. Okay. What does that button do? Urza? Activate. For Tap the construct, spin, get a thought monitor, draw 2 more cards. So uh-oh. Well, that kind of sucks. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's such a garbage. Oh, you don't say. Gross. It just keeps getting worse, everybody. Like, what's going on? I'm gonna cast Lotus. Lotus for blue. Ancestral me. Thought cast. Never punished at all. Not even one time. Crypt. Keep this one. Also worth mentioning, we have force backed up by Flusterstorm here for anything that goes wrong. We can force pitch the Sphinx of the Steel Wind, and then... Yeah, you have a construct, that's fine. So, like, what is this getting? This is probably getting Needle to name my Urza, which I think I'm fine with? I have so much other garbage going on that I don't think it matters. Oh, there's Sapphire. Sure. Yeah, I don't care about Ponder. Also, if I draw either a white or black Mox or a Mox Opal, yes, this is fine. Jeremy, this one's for you. Tails never fails. And it failed us again. Alright. Okay. So they did name our Urza. Does that mean we're supposed to do something with it? Kind of feels like we might be. I'm gonna crack for a whole bunch. Yep. Oh, cool. Alright then. I'm gonna bring this Karn, Dispute, Breacher. Probably Dismembers for their Hull Breachers. Cut forces. Anything else I don't like here? Most of this feels pretty reasonable. Cut a basic. Because I'm pretty sure that opponent is not playing Wasteland. Could also just shave a bauble. Yeah, I don't hate that. Emery does seem like it might be a little grindy, but I also don't think that I necessarily hate that. Can run this. Alright. Opponent obviously is going to go first. Sure. I mean, this is just like a pretty aggressive hand, right? Yup. Opponent mulligan, too. Key, sure. Cast. Cast. Time walk. Bobble. Saga. Thoughtcast. Opal. Do we just tinker them? I kind of feel like we just tinker them. Gross. So for anybody who missed how quickly that happened, that was Tinker and a Bolus to Citadel. Citadel finds a new Mox Opal, then a Thoughtcast. Thoughtcast puts the Hull Breacher in hand, then shows us the Narset on top. We cast the Narset, opponent concedes. Poof. Like, deck is such shenanigans. We're in for the final round. We're 2-2. Like, I definitely made a mistake against Andy. Against Crazy Diamond, I'm not sure. I kind of want to rewatch this match at some point because the Layla deck just feels like it got right underneath me and said, okay, you're done. This is how the game ends. And just like Layla was all that mattered. We're 2-2. Yep. We are 2-2-4-4. Exactly, to be fair. Like, it, pretty wild. Pretty wild. This deck feels absurd. And, like, I don't know if... Like, this just, like, this feels a lot like what I want to play for Eternal Weekend. The deck just feels busted. Like, it just feels absolutely disgusting. Wild. But again, everyone, thank you for hanging out tonight. I really appreciate it. It's nice to see so many of you... Oh, shh. Travis, no, we don't talk about that here. But it's nice to see so many of you hanging out here on a Wednesday evening. For anyone who joined late, my name is Adam. I am a member of Team Switch out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I am currently playing Vintage for the foreseeable future in preparation for Vintage Eternal Weekend, the weekend after Thanksgiving. Currently we are playing 8-cast, or a mono blue Tinker Thoughtcast Thought Monitor deck. I played this exact same list last night. If you are curious about the list, you can type !deck into chat, and Stream Decker will give you this delightful little link. Or on the left-hand side of your screen, there should be an icon that looks like some Magic card backs. That is the Cardboard Live extension, and the Cardboard Live extension will have the full deck list for you as well. I will be streaming one more time this week, likely Sunday afternoon, which will also be Vintage, potentially Thoughtcast, potentially 8-cast, potentially something else.
I definitely, you are correct, Travis. We've seen no shops in 2 leagues, and I'm happy for it. So I am currently looking at potentially maybe the Lelia blue-red kind of tempo deck. That deck is very interesting. I'm always interested in Paradoxical Outcome, and the new blue-black Tinker list also looks quite interesting. I say blue-black Tinker. It's a big blue Tinker deck playing Vampiric Tutor, Demonic Tutor, Viet, and I guess Bolas the Citadel. But yeah, that deck looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, so whatever I end up playing, it will be some sort of nonsense blue soup a la the vintage special. A bunch of restricted blue cards, some Force of Wills, and whatever else fits the theme. If you are new to the channel and are enjoying what you see, please feel free to give me a follow. I do appreciate them. I'm usually live 3 times a week, though the days are a little strange. You can also find my Twitter down there just below my ugly mug, where you can follow me, and I make all sorts of announcements about when I'm going live. Yes. Stu. Yeah, but you will see all sorts of announcements about when I'm going live. This one feels bad. Maybe? Probably. This is of questionable value. This Bolas is... Yeah, this is already a mulligan. What am I talking about? Oh, rad. This is much better. This is much, much better. Two, which brings us down to 5 to cast. This might just be bug. Well, that's gas. So, I think this is where we play the high risk, high reward. And just play this as our first land for turn. Because then if we have Academy next turn... Brainstorm, sure. I agree with you. I definitely don't want Citadel in hand. But like we definitely play the Seed to Synod, because then if we untap, we go Mana Crypt, Tolarian Academy, and then Thought Monitor, and all sorts of other garbage. So this is just bug. Rad. Okay. Oh, that's also gas. Mana Crypt. Tolarian Academy. Cast this Thought Monitor. Okay. There was the argument to cast Time Walk instead. Blue. I mean, this deck is just bananas. Okay. Tarmogoyf's fine. We keep losing the heads. This. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I want to... My Time Walk. Tails. Hey.
Blue, blue, 1. Take down. Tinker? Get rid of this one. Sphinx of the Steel Wind. Continue with your life.
Yeah, Sphinx is very good against Bug, as it turns out. Good talk. Alright.
Things I want include Dispute, Dismembers, thinking. Dispute, Dismember. Possibly Hull Breacher? Question mark. I think I'm just gonna, like, Sphinx is probably just what I want. Yeah, Tinker for Sphinx. Emery is of questionable value. Needle is fine. I could see trimming a couple of Flusterstorms. Cut a couple forces, I guess? Question mark? Unclear. Yeah, I think that's kind of where we want to be. This Hull Breacher seems okay, but I don't know what I would want to get rid of for it. Maybe an Emery? Probably an Emery. Breacher seems fine because these decks are often on not only blue power, but also this hand seems of very questionable value. I guess this shuts off a lot of the things that they can do that matter, right? So that's not awful. It just doesn't feel strong. It feels like everything we're doing is very slow. I guess I have reasonable mana, though. Like, this can just name Wasteland, which is... there are multiple copies of in their deck. Deathrite? Deathrite, sure. Okay. That is an incredible pickup. Islands. Go? No, the Deathrite is just gonna hang out. I don't absolutely do not care about the Deathrite Shaman. This Dismember is for Collect Roof. Or Leovold. Would also dismember a Leovold. I'm gonna fire this off. I am afraid of what happens if I don't fire this off now. Oh, this is just actively better. Yes, actually, it's probably not. Got a misstep. That's gonna be good for me. Well, 1, 2... Yeah, we're a ways off of that for right now. No, we need a wasteland. This Urza Saga will just win us the game if our opponent can't destroy it. There's our dismember target. Got daze? Got force? You don't. Sick. That's so good. It just keeps getting better. You have a Tarmogoyf. That is a card I'm not particularly scared of. That one's gas. This... Opal. Two, 3. Makes that 2 mana. God, this is, like, actually very good. So I have this Saga, which is going to be excellent. And the Saga's going to get me Key. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, he's hunting for Strip, for sure. Or some way to blow up this needle. Because blowing up this needle would also be very good. You have a Mox. That's fine. I'll take 3 from the Tarmogoyf. I kind of want the Saga construct around. I mean, Op Agent is a card, but... What do you got, opponent? Is this where I get Force Vigored? This is where I get Force Vigored. I think I'm just gonna let this happen. Strangely enough, I think I'm just letting this happen. Alright. Yeah, that was a... Okay. They had the Force of Vigor, they had the thing. It's all not great. Hi. If I play this, it just immediately gets thrown into Wasteland, and that doesn't actively do anything beneficial for me, so I think I'm just gonna pass. One, two. I think I want to wait until I untap. That's unfortunate. Yes, it's gonna resolve. I'm just not happy about it. Opponent's gonna leave this Wasteland up for basically the rest of eternity. Which is correct of them to do. Yikes, they failed to find with Narset. Alright, there's a bauble. Attack your Narset. Death Ray gonna get in front of it? Yeah, it is. Okay. So I can bauble them, but I think that it's actively better for me to just keep the thing in play. I do think I'm going to cast this Time Vault. What I'm really looking for here is like exactly Tinker. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could have cast, not cast. There's a Force of Vigor, which is pretty unfortunate. Blue, green, 1, 1. I will cast this Flusterstorm. Thank you for the exchange, opponent. This Tarmogoyf is very large. No, thank you. That's a pretty good one. Not gonna lie, but I think the one we're looking for is Tinker. Oh, right, there's still a Narset. I'm so bad at this. I needed to attack first, which I can't really do. Yep, that was super bad of me. Yikes. Alright. So basically now I have to block here, and I need Tinker to be the top card of my library. Gross. I need Tinker to be the top card of my library. I need my opponent to not have cards that matter. Okay. Yep, that's a Treasure Cruise. That's very bad. I mean, yeah. That's also just fine. None of you stop the thing that I want to be doing right now. No thanks. Ah yes, Mystical Dispute. Thank you. Okay. Now that I've seen this, do I want to change anything? This card still looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But what am I wishing for? Nothing? Not plussing any of their artifacts that matter. Oh yeah. No. Goyf is like pretty mainstay in Bug. Alright. Just gonna run it back. Yes. This hand is all dressed up with nowhere to go. Yeah. Box. 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 Thoughtcast for blue. Lands. Needle. We're just gonna name the wasteland off the bat here.
Black Lotus, Misty Rainforest. Deathrate's fine. Yup, that one's also fine. I would prefer you did not. Wobble you. Yikes. That's a Narset up top. Draw one. Oh, come on. What could I possibly want to do here? It would just be Ancestral Recall, right? Sure. You know, why wouldn't there be a Flusterstorm, right? Alright. Well. There's all sorts of artifact mana, which they're now kind of priced into trying to eat. Blue. Sure. I swear, if opponent just has another Force of Vigor in hand and they're just like Deathrite activate, Force of Vigor you, I'm gonna be so upset. Yeah, this kind of feels that way. Oh, okay. This is the Narset we knew about, sure. Mox Jet, sure. Don't care about that one. It activates Deathrite Shaman. I understand. Target land, instant sorcery. Oh, they can't exile my Moxes. That's pretty good for me. Speaking of can't exile my Moxes. Start with Pearl. Cast Pearl. Like, we're really just on this hard cast Sphinx plan today. Opponent's gonna chip me away with Deathrite Shamans, which is fine. They get a Thoughtcast to eat. They get a Hull Breacher to eat. Yes. Opponent failed to find. I love it. That's so good. Green, blue. Leovold? Is this Leovold? I mean, I'll be sad. Okay. Get out of here. That's disgusting.
You are incapable of paying 2. Promise. That death rate's like 100% supposed to attack, I think. Bauble. Jet. Cast jet.
There once was a ship that the name of the ship was the Billioti. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down below me.
Can we not? Gross.
Soon may the weatherman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll
So opponent's gonna draw Abrupt Decay. That probably takes out this Emery.
been 2 weeks from
1, 2, 3, 4.
her. A right whale bore the captain
That's not a bad one.
and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon
I would be interested in finding Urza. I would be interested in finding... Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, cards I'm looking for involve Urza or Tolarian Academy.
Hanson the side harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the weather
Yeah, I guess that's a start. Time lock?
no line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's
I mean, yeah, there's no reason to do that now. You want to eat the time lock?
Soon may the weatherman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave.
What a joke. Blue, blue, 1, 2, 3.
Even more, the line went slack, and tight once
Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still waiting for a couple more mana for this Sphinx.
come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave.
Yeah, you're in the slow drain me plan, I understand.
The fight's still on, the line's not cut, and the whale's not gone. The wellerman makes his regular call to encourage the
Also, I have no idea why this cover of the Wellerman is on this lo-fi playlist, but I also don't hate it. Throwing that out there. Oh, thought monitor, thought monitor, thought monitor. I'm gonna cast this. I know it doesn't draw me any cards, but I'm gonna cast it. Because what it does do is hit Narset and free up future ones. Yup. So opponent is on the Death Rate Shaman plan. Gonna make opponent think that we have a draw spell. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We get to play around a daze. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4. Opponent doesn't have a ton of stuff left to eat. 4 isn't lethal. I can wait to try to draw a blue card for this force. Or make them move first. Yeah, it feels better to sit and wait here. If I draw a blue card for this force, it's great. We might be in bad shape though. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Like, the other needles are in the sideboard, so we can't shut off Death Rate Shaman. I don't have Time Vault assembled.
Opponent just goes... Well, hold on.
There aren't enough things there for them to eat. Black, white, blue. There just aren't enough things there for them to eat.
Oh, that's... Yikes. Yikes. That just cost me the game. I go to 5. Opponent drains me again. Oh, that's so savage. This match literally came down to a Deathrite Shaman battle. Yikes. Okay. I mean, that's fair, I suppose. I didn't really play this game as though I was worried about these Deathrite Shamans, and it turns out the Deathrite Shamans were the thing that killed me. Now opponent just activates, takes their Force of Vigor and their Abrupt Decay, and I'm done. Yup. Well, there it goes. Alright, well.
So that's 2 and 3. That last one was close. I played it incorrectly and didn't really...
I kind of underestimated how important the Deathrite Shamans were in that game. It turned out the answer was very. Because the Deathrite Shaman... It turned out that by me forcing back, that they had enough going on that did it. And that is unfortunate. But I still think this deck is nuts. I think that I probably could have sideboarded differently. Maybe I'm supposed to play another Needle just to shut off Deathrite Shaman because the game states get so weird. Maybe my Narset is not actually that good. Maybe I'm just supposed to turbo race them. Maybe I'm just supposed to put a Citadel play and say, you figure it out. Interesting. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for me tonight. As I said, we'll definitely be back playing some more Vintage on Sunday. If you have anything particular you would like to see me play this Sunday, get at me. You can reach out to me here on Twitch through Whispers or what have you. You can reach out to me through my Twitter down below there at Azrael_Chimera. You can reach out to me through any other social media platform. You can reach out to me through Discord. Wherever you know to get a hold of me, feel free to. I'm definitely looking at a whole bunch of stuff. Like I said, I'm always in the market for PO. The Blue Tinker deck looks cool. The Lelia Tempo deck looks really rad. I think that deck is pretty sick. And I always love playing the restricted Delve cards. So that's also a possibility. It was mentioned last stream, hey, play some Hate Bearers, and maybe we put band together and give it a roll. We'll see what happens. For now, again, thank you everybody for coming out. If you like what you see here and you have not yet followed, feel free to do so. 3 nights a week, gonna be Vintage all the way through Vintage Eternal Weekend, but I also normally stream some Legacy as well, with plans for some more content. Might be the Pokemon TCG, might be actual in-person Dungeons and Dragons content, or via the internets. Might be some paper magic via webcam, or actual factual paper magic. Who can say? But it was nice hanging out with you all. And hopefully you all enjoy the rest of your night and the rest of your week, because I won't see you again until Sunday. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.